think that worked. Okay, got it. It's working. And I'm going to just record a backup just in case. Okay. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining the Zodiac signs as mirrors. I'm going to be doing something a little different today. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy it. If you could put where you're from in the chat, and if you want to put your big three, feel free. I'd like people, to have this be a little interactive where if I'm talking about a concept and you have some thoughts, you put your thoughts in, because yeah, I would love that. Okay, let me share my screen and so we can get going. And it's so nice to see familiar faces as well as a lot of new faces. I love it. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is called the Zodiac signs as mirrors. And I don't know, there's something in the air. Literally, we just had a solar eclipse in Libra about, Libra is the scales of balance. It's the only zodiac sign that's represented by an inanimate object, but there's something so in the air about duality and about like balancing out and about seeing the opposite of each sign as has some kind of reflection of the other sign within it. One of my good friends, Colin Bedell, did this series about each of the oppositions, and I saw someone else doing something about the opposition. So there's something that we're meant to, as a collective, consider about the signs and their oppositions. So for anyone who's new to me, I'm Celeste Brooks of Astrology by Celeste. And my background is I spent over 25 years in corporate sales, marketing, and business development. But as Uranus, the great awakener, as soon as Uranus entered Taurus on the Taurus sun, I started to feel this inner pull to do something different. And Uranus is the great awakener. Sometimes people are scared, myself included, when you see it coming to talk to one of your planets. And yes, it can be like a bomb going off in your life or something like big change you don't want happening. But it can also be like awakening to new possibilities about how you can live life. And as a Taurus, loving that paycheck every other week that I'd had since 22, like was really in line with how I was living life. And I've Saturn on my sun, so I'm like a Capricorn in disguise. But anyway, as Uranus was coming to my sun and Saturn was squaring my Sun-Saturn conjunction, asking me to separate from this stability in order to become an astrologer. Literally, Uranus rules astrology. And I feel like it's my passion. Oh, I know it's my passion. It's my purpose to help share this incredible ancient wisdom to help people awaken to seeing lives bigger than they thought they could be. Yeah, so I do natal astrology as well, including chart rectification. So if people don't know their birth time or want to check their birth time, we can back calculate it using events in your life. It's so eye-opening to know your ascendant, because that sets your whole chart. Yeah, I also do mundane astrology, the astrology of world events. I just find it just fascinating to see how the cycles, I view the cosmos as a mirror, a reflection as what is going on Earth we're seeing it as a mirror in the cosmos. And like it's cliff notes. We know what the energy will be coming up, but we don't know exactly how it will express. And horary, the astrology of burning questions. And I use a mix of traditional and modern techniques. I've also studied some evolutionary astrology, and I've studied all kind Uranian. I've studied all kinds of astrology and use what works best. I'm a practical Taurus. Yes, I'm an Aries moon, so I want us to have fun and people to feel inspired to maybe take some calculated risks, and yeah, bringing some of that dynamic passion and fire to the work. And Cancer rising, consultative. I want people to feel safe to share their thoughts without, fear of, somebody criticizing them for how they think. We're all in this together, kind of thing. My podcast is Celestial Insights. I also, the Organization of Professional Astrologers, I host the Transit Talks and Opa Lives. Yeah. Let me get going. If people who know me know, I could get on a tangent and just start talking. So I'm going to try to keep it concise because I want to keep the presentation to 45 minutes and then do the readings for the rest of the time. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so these are some of my teachers. So Leslie McQuirk, my original astrology teacher, really got me interested in astrology, and Mercury, the power of Mercury, the power of understanding how people with different Mercury signs communicate differently, think differently, and having compassion for the fact that we're all different. Rebecca Gordon got me started on the moon and with the transiting moon, and I teach something called Moon Mastery all about the moon and her cycles, and I'm really love looking at the cycles of the moon, and with my work, with my clients, with my own life. Yeah, so that was life-changing. I have my certificate from her school. Deborah Silverman got me started on my Saturn. Yeah, I'm a graduate of her school. And I have Saturn on my sun. And learning about Saturn cycles. Saturn, the great timekeeper, checks in with us 7 years to nudge us where are we on our journey. It tests us. It asks us to take on more maturity, responsibility, and achieve new things. So yes. Anne Ortlieb, I mentored with her, and she got me interested in, really helped me see mundane astrology and start to put together how the aspects show up on Earth. And I went to Tahiti right before the pandemic started. I was the only person on that plane with a mask on because Anne Ortlieb told me, this thing is going to get bigger. Wear a mask. Yeah. And Wade Caves, one of my horary teachers from the School of Traditional Astrology. I have my certificate from them, as well as my astronomy teacher. And it's taught me so much about looking at consultation charts, as well as horary and all that kind of stuff. Okay. You can find me at my website. I have a free guide that you can download that talks about to help you learn using the moon phases. You can listen to my podcast, available wherever you listen. It's called Celestial Insights, except I can't get it on Pandora. I've tried. I don't know what the problem is. Yeah, you can come for a reading. I also do mentoring and coaching. I do a lot on Instagram. I'm on all these socials, but mostly I do Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Okay. Let's see. And Ashley, please just come off mute and let me know if, yes, Melanie, hi, good to see you. Yeah, let me know if there are any questions I should address as we go, because I'm not watching the chat. Okay, so just as we have 2 eyes and 2 feet, duality is a part of life. Yeah, I love this from Carlos Santana, this quote. And so this is the first time I'm using animations with the slides. So you can let me know how you like these animations or don't like them. And look at all this color. So I don't know, something is going on within me that's helping me. I don't know if it's Neptune. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Oh, maybe it's Uranus on my Mercury, where I'm seeing in more pictures. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to talk about the zodiac signs as mirrors today. I'm going to be teaching Astrology Foundation, so giving you the opportunity if you want to learn from me with this class taught live. And then I'm going to do hot take chart readings. And I would ask for people, I'd like to do people who are getting their first reading from me or haven't gotten one for 6 months. So yeah, so please, if you put yourself up for a reading, please, I'd like to let people who haven't had one yet get it first. Okay. But you can put your information in the chat, and Ashley will be collecting them, and then I'll use random number generator at the end to do readings. Okay, so I'm trying to think about, like, why is this topic that I felt like I just needed to teach about, this zodiac signs of mirrors coming up so strongly right now. And part of it is that we are in a cycle for the collective where the South Node is in the sign of Libra. It went into Libra, I believe it was July 17th, and it will be there until January of 2025. So when the nodes of the moon, which speak about the work of the collective, the South Node, we kind of have some challenges and we need to leave the shadow energies behind. And the North Node, which moved into Aries, is about like kind of what we're reaching for, what we're learning about. And a high road Aries is having the confidence, being self-starting, being a pioneer, being able to climb new mountains, having courage. Yeah, you can think about that. Now, shadow Libra energies are just going along to get along, peace at any cost, being indecisive, being people pleasing. And we're like, each of us are called to do some viewing and balance these energies. Well, we just had a Libra solar eclipse, and it was a South Node solar eclipse. And so there was kind of like peace was eclipsed. It coincided with the biggest story of this eclipse, of course, is the war going on in Israel, that the attack and now the war. So yeah, so we're all, peace was eclipsed. So we're all facing this duality of war and peace in a whole different way from what we were doing when the North Node went into Taurus and the South Node in Scorpio, where it was the war in Ukraine. It's a whole different thing with the two states fighting against each other versus this, the rebels, Aries, and the terrorists attacking a state, and like there's so much to it. But the point is, there's easy access to conflict, arrogance, and intolerance. You can see in the collective how people are taking one side or the other, but it's, we all know that there's some nuance there. There's a resistance to diplomacy and cooperation. So we can see that on the large scale. Yeah. At the same time, we're having Saturn in Pisces. So Saturn likes to bring structures, likes to be, all the ST words, likes to, and also like boundaries, bring restrictions. Yeah. And Pisces, this mutable water sign, Pisces, like water needs a container, but you drop Saturn in this water sign, this mutable, changeable water, it's so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable. So reality Saturn is blurred, Pisces. We also see difficulties around emotions, Pisces. So people having difficulty accessing meaning. How can there be meaning when we're seeing people? Uh-oh. Somebody's not on mute. Let me see. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if you can figure out how to mute them.
I got it.
Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah. So how we can be having difficulty accessing meaning when we see so much devastation around ourselves. And there's all different kinds of things, like people, there's like a big drug crisis. Saturn and Pisces, we're seeing more people die from drug overdoses. We're seeing all kinds of problems about water. We're seeing in Israel a lack of water. Yeah, not Israel, in Gaza, the lack of water, like, and a lack of, we're seeing as well, compassion or empathy, blurred reality. We can see this. And Pluto is back in Capricorn as it does its last work, bringing up all of the shadows of big business and governments and these power struggles and brutality and domination, in order for us to deal with. But we also, Pluto went into Aquarius, which is going back and forth. So this work between Pluto and Aquarius and Pluto and Capricorn is something that's going back and forth for the next year or so. But Pluto and Aquarius, a complete transformation, change of the collective. And we've seen it with like AI, and, you know, and Pluto and Aquarius and Saturn and Pisces. Can you believe your eyes? They have like people, it looks like, I don't know, Tupac is talking about something, and like the reanimating people who have died, Saturn, with technology, Aquarius. It's really wild, and it's having a big effect on the mentality, intellect, Libra, of the collective. So part of the work, when Pluto goes into a sign, it brings up all the shadow stuff and shows us the things we'd rather disown. And about large groups of people, you know, we're seeing the shadows of humanity. We're seeing lawlessness with people just running into stores and taking everything, carjackings, all sorts of things like that. We're seeing brutality, the terrorist attack, now the war. I mean, it's seeing unimaginable human suffering, mass suffering. The earthquake in Afghanistan happened right around the solar eclipse. So yeah, seeing this, you know, mass influence where a lot of people's lives are just turned upside down. And there's also climate change with Uranus and Taurus that is really making, like, causing the collective to have big swings and things. So this is some of the things that I've been mulling over about where we are in this time and why it's so important to look at the signs as mirrors. So Ashley, I'm going to just pause there. If anyone said anything in the chat you want to share.
I don't see any questions.
Okay, great. Yeah, and just share any thoughts about these things like Saturn and Pisces, Pluto and Aquarius, whatever, if you like, in the chat.
Oh, there is one. Sorry. What are the ST words that you had mentioned, I believe, around Saturn?
Well, when you think of any ST word, you can think about it Saturn, like first, last, like anything that ends in ST, because Saturn is you think about the ancients, it was the last visible planet. It was the boundaries. It was the endings. So structure, stability, stamina, these are all Saturn words. Like any ST word, and this could be an exercise you do, like write down all the ST words you can think of, like big S, best, like that you can think about, and you can relate it in some way with Saturn. I got that from Rick Levine, and then I did at one point try to do every ST word I could think of, and I could relate it to Saturn. Yeah. Like boundaries, achievement, the hard work, that like the stamina to stick with something so that you can achieve it. You can think about that with Saturn. Tests. Saturn tests us. Yeah, that sort of thing. Great. Yeah, people get scared of Saturn, but Saturn is, like, it's a legacy. Yeah. Okay. So we can think about, when we're looking at the 12 zodiac signs, the first way we can break them down is into the 4 elements. Yeah. Fire, earth, air, and water. Fire, the passion of life, the creativity. It's the life-giving force, the fun, the dynamic nature of life, the energy. Earth, the form, the structure, the tangible, what we want to manifest, what we need to feel secure. Yeah, you can think about that. Like our food, the earth, literally, how we stay grounded with earth energy. Air, the mind, the intellect. Air connects. The air signs are all called humane. The air signs we're talking about, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. There's this nature of wanting to connect, wanting to socialize, wanting to inform, communicate. Now, water is the feeling and the intuition. Water signs are mute, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. These are the mute signs. So you think about, you go underwater and you try to start talking, no one can understand you. Yeah, there's something very internal about it. And did you notice, so yesterday, Mercury went from Libra into Scorpio, and that is such a big change. Libra, this air sign, really communicative sign, into Scorpio, this deep water introspective sign. And me and my boo were having this conversation, and I was telling him about what I was presenting today, and I was just chatting, and literally right around the time the Mercury went into Scorpio, got more introspective and got quiet and started thinking. Yeah, and we just had like less chitter chatter in the evening. So did you notice, if you were out at a party or if you were talking to someone or doing anything, some people may have just been watching TV and turned off the TV when Mercury went from Libra air to Scorpio deep waters. Yeah, so notice that. And then the sun is going to change tomorrow. Yeah, and fire and air are both the yang signs, and they like go naturally together because they push the energy out, whereas earth and water are the yin signs, and they go together because they're more reflective and internal. Yeah. So now we're getting to the oppositions. So when we think about oppositions, like when you are activated by an aspect where a planet that's transiting comes to oppose one of your personal planets, or any of the planets in your chart, that opposition is typically something coming in from outside of yourself through another person, or a situation that brings you into the energy of whatever the two planets are involved and the houses they are in your chart, and Let me try to think of something really quickly with an opposition. Yeah, let's do something fun. Like, okay, Venus comes opposite your natal sun, let's just say. So your sun, your identity, or let's just do Venus opposite Venus. Venus in the sky is opposite your natal Venus. Maybe someone gives you a gift. You can think about that. That was unexpected. Yeah. And it's like a transit that lasts just a day that you may not even notice. It could be from a woman, Venus, it could be from a partner, a lover, Venus. It could be, yeah. That's a really simple one, trying to think of off the fly. Somebody else what would you think could come up when Venus in the sky is opposite your Venus? Yeah. Yeah, so I talked about how oppositions have the same polarity. So all of the oppositions are either fire and air. So one sign will be fire, the other will be air, or they're earth and water. One sign will be earth, the other sign will be water. And they have in common that they're the same polarity. They're either yang or yin. Now, oppositions also have the same mode. So you can think about, we talked about the elements. There's also the modes: cardinal, fixed, or mutable. And each one of these modes have one of the fire, earth, air, or water signs within them. So the cardinal signs are initiating, they're self-starting. So two signs that oppose each other are both, so Aries is cardinal, Libra is cardinal, Cancer, and Capricorn. So Aries is cardinal fire, Cancer is cardinal water, Libra cardinal air, and Capricorn cardinal earth. So Cancer and Capricorn are opposite, and Aries and Libra are opposite. Yeah, they're both initiating and self-starting. Four cardinal signs come to a four-way stop, and everybody wants to kind of hit the gas and get going at the same time. They want to all do the same thing, but it's like it brings some conflict because they want to do it in a different kind of way. The fixed signs are preserving and they're focused. They hold the energy. And the mutable signs are adaptable and changeable, but they're opposing each other. So let's talk about the axis of relationships. So that's Aries and Libra. Aries and Libra are both concerned about relationships. They do it in different ways, but we're focusing on about the duality, how they're a mirror. Aries is the I am and Libra is the I partner. Every sign has an I statement. But you can think about how Aries is it's pioneering, wanting to take on new challenges that come from within itself, where Libra is persuasive and kind of tries to get you to come on a journey with them rather than Aries just set on the journey by themselves. Aries can be willing to fight for a cause or themselves, where Libra may be willing to fight for someone else. Libra is great advocates, great lawyers. A lot of lawyers have Libra energy. Yeah. Aries is more independent in taking action, but Libra wants to take action, but in cooperation with someone else. Aries desires recognition and Libra appreciative. You can think about with any of these two signs on an axis, if one of them is your ascendant, the other is the descendant. The ascendant is you yourself, the descendant is your partner, the other. So typically our souls are looking for someone who brings in these other energies as a balance to ourselves. Yeah. Or we can be projecting in the seventh house, what the qualities may be. So you can just think about this and think about, are there any other ways you can think how Aries and Libra, although they are different and their energy, their goals are to express different things, there's something in common. Their mirrors are each other. So Aries could be aggressive, whereas Libra could be passive aggressive. Yeah. Or Aries domineering, really getting in your face, versus Libra apathetic, pretending you don't even exist. You mean nothing to me when they're upset, potentially. When we look at Taurus and Scorpio, they're both concerned with resources. Taurus, I have. Scorpio, I desire, what you have kind of things, or I desire for us to do this together. And I like to call this axis the axis of pleasure, because they're both very associated with pleasure. Both signs are really amorous in some different ways. Yeah. Pleasure, power, they're both power dynamics, and resources. Yeah. So Taurus, we can think about Taurus as sensual, wanting to explore all the senses and the smell, touch. Tauruses love there are all the memes about how Tauruses love to eat. Yes, we do. We like the physical pleasure. Yeah, whereas Scorpio is magnetic, there's this very intense desiring energy, the come hither energy with Scorpio. Yeah. A lot of Scorpios have the penetrating eyes that is just like, ooh, yes. You can think about how Taurus is patient, like the cow eating the grass, just ready to just keep it steady in order to have that one foot in front of the other. You can think about the Knight of Pentacles tarot card with Taurus patient energy. Well, Scorpio is tenacious, willing to just stick with things no matter how uncomfortable they are in order to achieve the goals. And you can think about, yeah, Taurus is ruled by Venus, Scorpio is ruled by Mars. It's like more probing, whereas Taurus is more like that feminine yin energy, but it's probing, but in a water, there's something about it's not like the goal of Scorpio. There's something about like bringing things based on making, there's some discomfort that comes from the work and the healing you do with the Scorpio energy, but they're both can be great project managers because they both are fixed signs. They both are feminine yin, and they both hold the energy and have the persistence, whether it's persistent to just keep at you to get that report to me, or it's probing, like, where is that report? Why isn't it done? And asking the questions. Yeah, you can think about it. Both are stubborn. Taurus very rigid. Scorpio can be a bit forceful, both associated with resources. Taurus possessive. This is mine. I really don't like to share French fries. No, I don't. I've gotten better now that I'm adult, older, but up until age maybe 35, it was like, we might have a problem. Maybe 40 if you took my French fries. Yes, we would. Yeah, and Scorpio, like envious, wanting your French fries. You can think about that. With Gemini and Sagittarius, they're on the axis of knowledge. Gemini's, I think, Sagittarius, I seek, are their statements. Gemini's curious, like just wanting, kids, like people with strong Gemini, why? They come out of the womb wanting to know why. Whereas Sagittarius can be more philosophical, taking the information and weaving it into like a belief system that brings meaning and all of that sort of thing. Gemini can be more expressive, where Sagittarius, like there's this visualizing of it and then communicating what's visualized. Witty and frank, they're both can be funny and in different ways. Yeah. Now, Gemini's shadow energy can be accused of being two-faced, like speaking out of both sides of the mouth, whereas Sagittarius, putting the foot in the mouth and being a bit tactless by being just so blunt and direct that sometimes people get their feelings hurt. Both, yeah, they're mutable signs. Gemini fickle, Sagittarius non-committal, but these are both like mirrors of a similar energy. Okay, anything you just want to bring my attention to, Ashley?
Yeah, there's a couple of questions. Let me go back to them. There's a lot going on in the chat.
Oh, good. I can't wait to read it afterwards. I'm going to blow my nose.
Okay, sorry. Here we go. Would those of us who are highly sensitive also be feeling more anxiety and or chaotic energy as a result? I think it was in regards to just what you were saying in general about the signs.
Yes. Well, what's going on in the world, people who have a lot of, people are empaths, or can really be feeling a lot of this stuff, that there's just this drumbeat of intensity. This eclipse cycle is really, really intense. There's a lot of the Saros cycle. I did a talk for Kepler, and I brought up about this Saros cycle. Or you can go, if you're interested, you can go and get my Libra eclipse. It's this cycle that happens every 18 years. And there's a lot of power and intensity and like even anger underneath the surface that's really coming up. So yes, you may be feeling it. Yeah, feeling it. If you're normally anxious a bit or very empathetic, you maybe feel magnified by eclipses are times of big energy. And right now we're between the two. And yesterday we had a first quarter moon where the moon is conjunct Pluto. So all kinds of big swelling emotions can be coming up for people.
Could the South Node in Libra be linked to a relationship breakdown?
Yes, this is a big, like since Venus, which rules the sign of Libra, went into Leo, opposite Pluto, and then we have Venus retrograde, and during Venus retrograde, Venus was squaring Uranus 3 times, and then we had the solar eclipse in Libra conjunct the South Node. But before that, as soon as Venus went into Virgo, it opposed Saturn. So relationships under pressure, and then some of them just broke when the solar eclipse. And the solar eclipse was called King-Kun's Uranus, this aspect that's kind of like a health aspect. So relationships that were having health challenges, Uranus suddenly broke, and they're going to continue to see relationships breaking even past the lunar eclipse next Saturday. So yes, yeah, lots of relationships breaking with the energies that we've been coming in, but some of them are breaking because it's just time for them to end. Yeah.
Do the signs as mirrors bring triggers to work through?
Yes, you can think about, especially if you have strong one of the energies, think about the sign, or just think about your sun sign. Think about the opposite sign and how it can challenge you, or how you think it's so different than yourself, but like there's some commonality there. Yes. Yeah, I think about a part of why I'm doing this is to challenge our thinking about how we feel about the opposite side. Like as a Taurus, Scorpio is just so different, like so extreme, whereas Taurus is so steady. Yeah. But there's all those commonalities. Yeah, I've learned as I've thought more about it between the two signs, even though they're so different.
And I think that's pretty much it. There's one about, well, let's see. What if your moon and rising signs are mirrors to let me go back, to your sun sign?
Your moon, yeah. So you're dealing with the opposite. So if your moon is opposite your sun, you were born at a full moon. And part of your work in this life is really about relationships. There's because the sun represents our identity and our conscious thought, and the moon, our subconscious, our behaviors, our habits, what we need to feel safe. If our identity and what we need to feel safe are in opposition, and you can also think about how the sun is the father, the moon, the mother. Yeah, it has to do with how we were raised as well, typically with that opposition, where we have to learn how to balance the energies. If you think about it, like pretty much most US presidents are born at eclipses, like lunar eclipses or at full moons, because they have to learn how to negotiate. Like done well, you can learn how to reflect back or be aware of other people's emotions and start to balance these opposing energies, because you're tested or have to go through it as a child. Yeah. There can also be things about projection, and yeah, it depends on the chart, but there's some challenge or that you come into this life with to learn how to balance the opposition. of those two energies.
And I think that's pretty much it. There's a question about opposite sun and rising signs, but I think you just answered it. And then there was also a question about South Node and Scorpio in reflecting upon a relationship break. But I think you also answered that when you talked about South Node as the
Okay.
drain.
Okay. Yeah, the South Node is a cosmic drain. Yes. The North Node's gain, South Node's drain. Okay. Thank you so much, Ashley. Yeah. So, oh yeah, I want to finish up the talking in 10 minutes. So let me get going. Okay. So, axis of legacy. You can think about how Cancer is where we come from, like our home, family, and foundations, and Capricorn's what we want to achieve. So, Cancer, I feel, I nurture. Yeah, is another key word for Cancer. Capricorn, I achieve, but they're both cardinal signs. They're both initiating. Now, Cancer can be, people with strong Cancer energy can be very nostalgic about the past. Like the moon is memory. The moon rules the sign of Cancer, and Saturn rules the sign of Capricorn. So you can think about the nostalgia, and Capricorn is a sign of tradition. Okay, we go home for Thanksgiving every year and we have this dish or this, that sort of thing. Cancer's caretaking, whereas Capricorn feels responsibility. A lot of times, like a leader at a company may feel a lot of responsibility if they're a Capricorn for the people who report to them or their team. If you can think about that. Cancer can be romantic. Capricorn does things out of duty, and it could just be very reliable versus the romantic, but there is this nature of care for both of them. Now, upset, brooding, like just sitting in emotions, like with Cancer, pouting, feeling sorry for oneself. Capricorn, like cutting off their emotions, being cold. Or Cancer, like touchy, versus Capricorn can be critical. Those are the shadow energies. With Leo and Aquarius, the axis of the audience, Leo is concerned about self-expression, and we can think about Aquarius concerned about the collective, the group, all of that sort of thing. Leo's I create. Aquarius is I know. Yeah. So Leos can be very dramatic. It's the show person. It's the actor. It's the performer. Whereas, and when you are dramatic, people notice you and take note of what you're doing because you're courting attention. Now, Aquarius sometimes very unconventional. Yeah, if you like tattoo your face, you are kind of in some way being dramatic to court attention. Now, that's an extreme example, but yeah, Aquarius and they're both signs that can go to extremes. Yeah, so there's also this call for Aquarius to individualize himself, be different. But same with Leo, yeah, it can be very proud and concerned about, having that heart-centered fire, about proud of their whatever, their roots, their talents, whatever. Yeah, Leos can be very generous and giving. And Aquarius can be a very altruistic. The humanitarian is an Aquarius archetype who's willing to, sacrifice for what they have in order to make things more equitable for the group. Leos can be very gregarious and like holding court and talking and Whereas Aquarius can be very inquisitive. They're asking you questions because they really want to know. They want to know how you tick, how you think. Yeah, there's this connection energy about the outside world with both of them are yang signs. Yeah, Leos could be attention seeking, being very dramatic, and Aquarius eccentric, which is another way of gaining attention. And last but not least, the axis of well-being. Virgo and Pisces. Virgo, the I serve, I caretake. Pisces, I believe. they're both can be, yeah, they both can be very sensitive signs. Like Virgo is a mutable earth sign that's ruled by Mercury. And there's this like kind of perfectionist energy where there can be almost, or like wanting things very orderly or very a certain way. And there can be a lot of anxiety that comes from this. Some people with strong Virgo, they're so particular about ingredients or this and that, or the way things are organized or having things just the right way. It can bring a lot of anxiety, which it can even have physical things. Virgo rules the intestines. Like a lot of people with strong Virgo can, easily get an upset stomach if they're not feeling well or feeling emotionally ungrounded. Whereas Pisces can be very sensitive and empathetic. It's this mutable water, can have there's a real need for healthy boundaries with Pisces because they can just absorb everyone's emotions around them and feel like that physical sense of anxiety or uncomfortableness from coming in from other people's energy. You can think about how Virgo's analytical, like it's very information sorting. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. It can be like more idealistic, but there's something about belief systems between both of them, I feel like, that is in common. Yeah. Virgo can be very modest and Pisces very introspective. Yeah. Service-oriented Virgo, compassionate Pisces, very concerned with the other, using, not for attention's sake, but using their energy to be helpful in some ways. Yeah, Virgo can be like picky, specific, particular. Pisces, I don't know what to choose. Indecisive, you could think about that. But I feel like Virgo is about like the physical well-being and Pisces the well-being. Yeah, but both of them have both energies that mirror reflection within them. So that was some of my thoughts about the signs as mirrors. And when I do some examples, I'll try to bring that in. But I may just, when I do the hot takes, just talk about what I'm seeing. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, but if you want to come study with me, Astrology Foundations 101 starts next Sunday. It's going to be a 6-week class taught live on Zoom at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So it'll start an hour before this started. I started this at this time because the astrology was kind of gnarly the hour before. It's like kind of a little gnarly today. We had the moon in Aquarius squaring Mars and Scorpio, but what can you do? There's always something going on. So anyway, you can learn the basics of natal chart reading from the ground up with me to help you understand yourself better as well as the world around you. I love to bring in the mundane astrology and I feel like astrology is the language of compassion and self-compassion, as well as compassion for others. And once you understand people's inner wiring as well as your own, it helps you understand that this is just the way they are, not that it's an excuse, but that there's certain things that we are who we are, and we have to work with it and grow, and despite our things that, our shadows or our limitations or our challenges, and we work through them. And people with a lot of challenges in their chart, like a lot of squares, our oppositions, can be some of the most successful people because they have to constantly move through these challenges rather than the trines and the sextiles, which are just more easy. Someone's coming to rescue you with a sextile or trine, just things easily flow. So yeah. It can really help you improve your relationships and live life more presently when you understand like the cycles and what is going on. Yeah.
What was the name of your course again? I'm sorry.
It's Astrology Foundations 101. Oh, and
Thank you.
And I'll drop the link in the chat, but you could just go to astrologybyceleste.com and you'll see it's on I put it on the home page and on the classes page. So this, yeah, there's a VIP community. There's optional assignments if you want them. You'll learn about the natal chart, the planets, the signs, the houses, the aspects. We'll take the week off for Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, and then also an introduction to chart synthesis. This is just 101, and I'm building out, you know, the whole thing. But astrology, it takes a while to learn astrology. There's a lot to it. And experiential is how I like to work with learning astrology. It's ancient wisdom. People have been studying this for thousands of years. But by the end of the 6-week course, you'll have the basics to be able to start reading your natal chart. And the new perspective will help you make more conscious decisions, improve your relationships, and harness opportunities in sync with your natural cycles. I'm including some bonuses. You can come and if you come and take the class, you get 20% off a reading or a coaching program. You get the free Wise Skies 2024 digital astrology calendar that puts it on your phone. You can get 50% off the workshops. Now the Libra one, it was eclipse, already happened. But you can also get the Scorpio and the Sagittarius one. They're normally $35, you get them for $17.50. These are a smaller group, and I typically do readings for everyone if I can during these, where I teach about the moon and the cycles, blah, blah, blah. The first 10 students get a free oracle card video reading where you can ask me a question and I'll just pull a card and riff on it, or I'll just pull a card for you and riff on it and send you a video, or maybe a couple cards. It depends. I'll just, you know, I'm an intuitive, divine guidance to help you. Yeah, so that's like a $40 value. Yeah, so over $350 in savings. Now I wanted to keep the class price low so that you know, more people can afford it. It's only $222 for the 6-week class. You can do it in 2 payments if you need to. It'll never be, this will be the cheapest it'll ever be. I mean, maybe I'll keep it at this price, we'll see. But yeah, I'm feeling like it should be $333, but I'm doing it for $222 to make it more accessible, especially during this time where we're having so much turmoil and whatnot. So the classes are taught live, they're yours to keep. Classes are interactive, you can ask questions, and I'll use participants in the classes charts who are interested in having their charts used for examples. You'll get an option if you want a study buddy. Yeah. I've had people who've taken my classes still in touch with their study buddies. So I don't know. I have a gift of putting people together. Yes, I do. So yeah, these are the Moon Mastery workshops. So this is another way you can work with me. You can just come for one of these. The eclipse one already happened. And I'll put, when I send the follow-up email, I'll put it in there. So I think that's it. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. I only went 10 minutes over. Let me stop sharing.
There's just a couple questions. Can you quickly comment on the energy of the eclipse next Saturday?
It's intense. So it is, I'm really interested to see how it is going to show up. So we're having a Taurus eclipse at, here, let me, at 5 Taurus. So it's the last of the Taurus eclipses for this cycle. It was seeded back on April 30th of 2022. There was a new moon solar eclipse at 10 Taurus. And now we have the full moon at 5 Taurus, where the sun's in Scorpio and the moon's in Taurus. Now there's something happening at that time. Mercury and Mars are both in Scorpio, conjunct, and opposite Jupiter. So Mars is at 11 Scorpio, Jupiter's at 11 Taurus. There's something of the nature of that Mercury-Mars opposite Jupiter. So Mercury and Mars together can be really strategic in Scorpio. You can think about the words and the actions. Mars is really strong in the sign of Scorpio. So you can think about how you can stick with the work that you're wanting to do in order to achieve your goals. or take your action to self-actualize with Mars, opposite Jupiter for your beliefs, for your big ideals. Now, I think you can think about it. Scorpio is an intense water sign. Mars, like with the war, I'm just very concerned about that. That Mars opposite Jupiter, like really intense fighting, and Mercury takes on the nature of what it's with Mars in order to, for your beliefs, the sniper, kind of stuff. Yeah, so it can be used really well, but it's really intense. This whole eclipse season is pretty intense. There's a lot of conflict. You can hear people speaking with a lot of hatred. Yeah, it's intense. So how can you be an example? Lead with love, like try to flex and try to, if you can, see other people's points of view, that sort of thing, I think is how we can use it the best. Resources, people fighting over resources, you can kind of see with that energy.
And those were all the questions. There's some comments that your price of 222 is very generous,
Okay.
which it is. And one last request or recommendation to teach a horary class in the future.
That's on the list. That's on the list. Yeah, I want to teach a mundane class, mundane astrology. Yeah, horary, there's so much to horary, but yeah, I should put together a basics of horary class. And yeah, so I'm building them out. Thank you. I love suggestions of what you want to learn about. So look at your chart. Where is 5 Taurus, Melanie? What house is it in? Is it talking to anything else? Do you have anything about 5? Yeah, think about resources. Think about pleasure, power, and resources with Taurus energy. Yeah, think about what you have. Think about your skills and your talents. Think about your need for security. Yeah, you could think about that. Yeah. Yes, Maria, I want to make my own oracle deck. Yes, that is on my vision board, writing a book and making an oracle deck. Yes. Yeah. Oh, did I put it in the chat? Not yet. Let me see. Let me chat. Okay. There's the link to the class. The first 10 students get their free oracle card reading. Okay. Let's go on to doing some chart readings. Well, let's first, any questions before I start? Does anyone want to come off mute and share anything, or?
Hey Celeste, it's Patty.
Hi, Patty.
I had like a kind of an epiphany on the last axis. The Virgo Pisces axis. My sister is a Virgo. My mother is a Pisces. I am a Pisces moon, which I've always felt opposite of my mother, but yet we're in tune. And I feel completely off of their axis. They've always had a totally different connection than me. Is that why?
Well, yeah, that's probably part of the story. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've always been the outsider looking in, like just drowning out, you know?
I wonder if their degrees in that opposition are really close to each other.
Okay, I have to look at that.
Look at their charts. I think the closer they are to each other, the more what you're saying seems to explain how they're like, yeah.
Because it's one of those, like, since I was little, split, just always out.
Yeah, well, you're an Aries, and Aries, so Aries and Virgo are king kongs. So like Aries, the sun in Aries, like there's something about how you take action where you really don't understand that Virgo kind of stuff.
No.
Yeah, because Aries that like, let's get out there and take the risks and show up and be seen. And Virgo's like, no, I want to stay behind the scenes. And
I was rising, not moon. I messed that up because you know I'm a Gemini moon.
yeah, no, I'm talking about you're an Aries sun, right?
Yeah.
And then Pisces is in your blind spot. So like, why are you so sensitive? Well, you're a Pisces rising, right? So there's another thing. You get Pisces, but you know, there's like at the core, like what you're here to do, the essence of the sun. you don't get them, even though you have some of those energies within yourself, I would say.
Yeah, I don't. I never did get them. And they didn't get me either. That was the conflict always. So that made sense for me, seeing that they were on their axis and I'm out here.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes. Any other comments or epiphanies? That's great, Patty. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to enjoy the class. Looking forward to it.
Oh, good. Okay.
Someone's asking if you look at Vesta. She's
Yes.
got Vesta at 3 degrees Taurus in the 8th house.
So Vesta, the asteroid of devotion, the asteroid, it's also the house and the home. So it also sisters. So notice what comes up with the eclipse with any of those topics. Now, because it's in your 8th house, it may be psychological. Like, what have you devoted yourself to? Are you, in terms of, like, are you devoting yourself to security and safety? Like, say, just for instance, you hate your job, but you just stay because this is what I did for a long time, because, well, I didn't hate it. You know what I mean? It's just comfortable. It's like an old shoe. You're devoted to it. How is it holding you back from, like, taking the risk to finding a job where you find more meaning and spend your day like feeling like you're a more meaningful situation or creating? Or are you devoted to potato chips and you have all these goals to get in shape, but they're so tasty, That's a simplistic thing. But yeah, think about that relation of what you're devoted to, and let the shadows come up with the 8th house. The 8th house is the house of shadows and deep psychological processes. You're devoted to this, but is it because it's just security, or is it just like you're nourishing your senses, but it's not for your highest good? That's what I would think about with that. Yeah. Hey, let me do. Anything else, Ashley?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of personal questions, but I think we can get to them with the hot takes.
Okay, yeah. And if I see some of them, and I can, when I do out the email, it may be later today, but and maybe I'll try to send out it tomorrow at the latest, the email with the recording and any resources and whatnot. So anyway, this is astrology-by-celeste.com is where you can go and just enroll for the class. Yes. Okay. So about how many people do we have, Patty? Not Patty. Ashley?
We just talked to Patty. It would be about 26.
Okay. Let me use my random number generator. And as I said, I'd like to do some people I haven't done before. Okay. So number 17, let's start there. Let's see if I can.
Alina.
Okay.
Or it's Alene.
Okay, I don't recognize that.
Maybe Aline.
Aline. Okay, Aline, can you come off mute? And what is the birth date?
Hi.
April 15th, 1978 at 4:54 p.m. Mesa, Arizona.
Okay, thank you, Ashley. Hi, Aline. Is that how you say? Why don't you tell us how you say your name?
That is how you say it, Aline. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Great. Did you have any thoughts you wanted to tee us up with, or?
No, I'm brand new, so I'm learning.
Oh, wonderful. Let's see. And you're a Libra rising. So this eclipse, have you felt like this like internal change around you, your identity, yourself, since July, especially when the South Node went into Libra?
Yes, the last few months have been very intense for me. I haven't
really known what was going on, but I feel like I've had issues in many areas: finance, relationships, religion, work, all of it.
Yeah, well, relationships, I like, okay, so this, even in the last couple of years, because you have your Venus in Taurus and Uranus in Scorpio, and on, I think it was May 15th this year, we had an eclipse, a lunar eclipse at 14 Scorpio. So that might have really triggered some things around finances. The second house is the house of finances, and Venus rules our finances. This opposition was, you could think about if like an unexpected bill showed up, or unexpected, maybe an unexpected windfall, yeah, came around that time, or just realization of things around your relationship with money and resources. Now, this, once the South Node went into Libra, because you're a Libra rising, it's like a drain, like it's bringing things up that help, that make you deal with things typically in an uncomfortable way. So a lot of Libras have felt like kind of worn down, like literally the first house is about our physical body and our vitality, like just feeling like you have less resources emotionally to deal with things. And what the South Node helps us do is burn off old stories or let go of the non-essentials as we make some changes. And as a Libra rising, if there have been some things like people pleasing or being indecisive or going along to get along, you may be confronted with that and having to stand in your Aries sun, or maybe it's the opposite. You're learning the Libra stuff because you have the sun in Aries and the rising in Libra. There's this duality. So do you connect more with the Libra essence or the Aries essence of yourself?
I feel like historically, most of my life, I've been more of the people pleaser. I feel like I'm just starting to come into more of who I am and trying to do what I need to do to be me, be more authentic to myself.
The North Node, which is about gain, is about at 24 degrees of Aries, so right near your sun. So this is a time in your life, and maybe uncomfortable, but you're being called to step into your that Aries energy of confidence, of taking actions for yourself. You still have to balance the other, but yeah, this is what is being asked of from you right now. Yeah. And you can use your talents as a Libra, the cooperation energy, to like maybe make the pioneering changes and bring, are you married or?
No, I've been divorced and single for 18 years.
Okay. So this eclipse cycle is repeating. There was a solar eclipse, and you can think about it, on October 14th. It was 2004. And so there may be some mirror about what's going on now with what went on back then.
That was as I was getting divorced. So yeah.
And think about how you had to lean into that Aries energy yourself to maybe even felt like in survival mode.
Yeah.
Like Aries energy can be like survival mode as you were divorcing. Yeah, and learning, like breaking up the marriage, the partnership. I'm divorced, so I know how that can be, where you almost like even physically you go through changes. Yeah. Oh, I pulled the Page of Cups for you. So I want you to like connect into emotions and yeah. Let me see what else I want to tell you about the Page of Cups. Pages can be messengers. So you can think about serendipity. So, and new unexpected trajectories. Really be open to what wants to enter your life right now, because the North Node going through your 7th house of the partner can bring a new relationship in if you're interested in that. So keep that in mind. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Have an open and joyful heart. This can be, the world is my oyster, my flourishing oyster, and I'm excited to see what happens next. Can you lean into that Aries energy of having some, openness and excitement and welcoming positive change is what I would say, what I'm looking at.
Yes, definitely. That is what I'm hoping for. I've been trying to just say that I'm ready to receive anything fun and exciting and expansive into my life.
Yes, you could be meeting someone soon if that's something you're interested in. Your Juno, this is the asteroid of marriage at 2 Aquarius, is being squared by this eclipse that's coming up. So you can change your life with a hello or a smile. I love telling people, that's my new thing, my new catchphrase. So if you see someone just out and about at the dog park walking, just say hello.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah. Well, I
I
hope
love
that
that.
helps.
It does. Thank you so much. That was really cool.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. Thank you for coming.
Have a good day.
Oh, you too. Okay, Ashley, number 26.
Usha, USHA.
Okay.
Yeah, it's me.
Wonderful. Is that how you say your name?
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
Birth date is March 7th, 1976 at 7:15 a.m. And I'm going to spell, it's DHARAN, Duran, Nepal, NEPAL.
Okay, wonderful. Okay. Is it DHARN Bazaar in Coast?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, well, I don't even have to open your chart to know through that you are going through some changes, because on March 7th of this year, Saturn moved into the sign of Pisces. So did you notice a change, like where you took on more responsibility or achieved something or were tested around March?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so as a Pisces, Saturn is coming to your sun, your identity, in your 12th house. Like something's probably coming to end around something, related to, and your sun rules your 5th house. I don't know if maybe a child moved out of your house, or there could be something about children, self-expression, dating, things like that are coming up for you. Oh, look at all. See, astrology is so beautiful. Like, so the last person was a Libra rising, and now you're an Aries rising. Yeah, so we're seeing this Aries Libra duality, where the North Node is in your 1st house, asking you to grow and gain confidence and take on. Has anything like kind of nice happened recently where you got an unexpected blessing?
Yes. Yeah. I went for a spiritual retreat. Yes.
The North Node is on your Jupiter. So you went, did you travel a long distance to go on a spiritual retreat?
I went California. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And also this summer I traveled to Nepal. Yep.
Yeah. And was it really healing, this, because you have Jupiter conjunct Chiron? Was this retreat that you went on really healing?
Yes.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah. And do you feel comfortable with that Aries energy? Because you're a Pisces, which can help make you very sensitive and giving, but there's something called for courage that you, or being independent.
Yes, I'm very much independent. Giving me courage to speak up.
Mm-hmm.
And I am, created the group of people from, who had children with disabilities. And I'm initiating that and some others. Yeah.
So a group of people with children with disabilities. So when you say a
Mhm.
group, I look at the 11th house. And
Mhm.
so you have Saturn there, and you have Saturn and Cancer. So Cancer, you can think about Cancer as the sign of the mother, and Saturn tests potentially
Mhm.
or difficulties. So mothers who have children, Mercury, you're coming together for connection, and Venus with other people who have similar situations so that you can help each other to give your children, the best
Yeah.
life and learn how to, learn how to be with.
Yes, I have son with special need, and I created that group to support others too. And how it's going with the Libra and eclipse, and my health. I'm struggling with my health right now. Those I would like to know.
Okay, so this eclipse, and we can look at let's just look at this solar eclipse with you. Okay. Okay. So because Saturn went into your sun sign, that can be a sign of vitality is the sun, and Saturn kind of can be like a heavy wet blanket. So this next year or so, you really have to make sure you're putting your you're doing everything you can to, as much as you can. I know it's difficult, get extra rest, and because you've got this Saturn coming to your sun. And you can think about Venus is here in your 6th house. So hopefully this will be helping you feel a little bit better. I'm hoping, but we can see you having like this eclipse square to your natal Saturn. So, and Saturn's in the sign of your sun and putting its energy on your 12th house. Like, have you spent a lot of the time at the doctor?
I am, doing many stuff for myself, like, like a chiropractor I'm going, and I'm doing acupuncture and those kind of stuff to heal my body. Yeah. Yeah, the naturally, not, I don't want to go through the traditional medical, but I like to heal completely. That I'm hoping.
Yeah, well, Venus in your 6th house, Venus is a benefic, and it's in your 6th house of things that go wrong with your health. So I'm hoping this can bring a little bit of healing. There's a lot going on. You've got Uranus on your moon. That can be, there's a lot more that I can talk about in the few minutes here. But I pulled the 7 of Cups for you. So this is about, I feel like there's so many things that you can be doing. And it's a call to gather your energy and maybe focus on what is most necessary so that you can have some healing. Yeah, focus on what is most necessary is what I'm getting with that, rather than scattering your energy too much. Yeah,
that makes sense. I'm all over the places.
My wildest imagination is a tool that I can use to inform my future in a down-to-earth way. Yeah, it's about choices and narrowing them down. Yeah, so I hope that helps.
Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome. Yeah, thanks for coming. Okay, number 4, Ashley.
Jennifer B.
Okay. Hi, Jennifer. Just want to make sure you're still here.
Let me go through and see if I see it, Jennifer.
Can you come off mute, Jennifer?
I don't see it, Jennifer.
Okay.
So maybe they left.
Okay, let's do 25.
25. Phyllis Howard.
Phyllis. Are you here, Phyllis? Uh-oh.
I'm going through quickly. Nope. No, I don't see a Phyllis either.
Okay, 7.
Christine Carbone.
Oh, let's hope Christine is here.
Hi, I am.
Okay. Okay,
And-
Ashley, what's that?
January 19th, 1969 at 3:21 a.m. in Rochester, New York.
Okay. Hi, Christine.
It's Kristen, but yes, thank you. Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Kristen.
Sorry about that.
Okay, don't worry.
No worries. So nice to meet you. When I look at your chart, the thing that jumps out at me is that you have a Capricorn sun at the 29th degree. So Pluto has been dancing on top of your sun in the second house. So have you had like just, it may be happening very slowly, but really big changes about your values or feeling?
It's actually been values, absolutely. And it's been hard to pinpoint it, but as it gets closer to its last hit, it's definitely, yeah, my value system has definitely changed around, like, I think in my role of parenting and such.
Okay, so Mars rules your children. Yeah. So this eclipse is going to be really interesting for you. You may already know whatever the story is, but you're going to have a Mars return on around the day of the eclipse, and Mercury is going to be conjunct Mars opposite Jupiter in your 6th house. So I want you as a Scorpio rising, to stay really present with your subconscious emotions that are coming up with this eclipse. Like there may be some 12th house stories, like a positive hidden angels can be helping you with whatever is going on to manage the intensity of it, or watching out for self-sabotage or blowing your top maybe at one of your kids who like you just about had it with, kind of energy could also be coming up.
And I have a question about that. Like, because it's my Mars return, does that energy like carry through for the whole year? Is that how, right? Is that how I would look at that?
Until Mars comes back. So we can look at your so Mars. Oh wait, let me make sure. Let's do natal. Okay, so your Mars return, you can think about like, it's in Scorpio next to Mercury. So maybe are you like working on something that you really want to put into action?
Yes. I've been actually, I am certified in astrology. And so I have been trying to, how it will apply how I can apply it in helping other women, other mothers that have teenagers, because I have a teenage daughter. And so once I understood her chart, which was after she was older, it really helped give me some clarity on just even communication wise, like how to communicate to her. She's a double Gemini. rising and moon and an Aries sun, but yet her Mercury is in Pisces. So she's, she's not, even though she's talkative with the Gemini, like she's more emotional in her like an empath, emotional, and like all these things that I learned afterwards. And I just want to somehow use this knowledge and see if I can help other parents, it's just, I can't put my finger on it, Celeste. There's something there, I just can't put my finger on.
Well, I think this could be a great time for you to be working on that, because the Mercury Mars, like finding the words or finding the what you wanted to, I feel like there's teaching energy for you and teaching about parenting. Yeah. The moon rules the 5th house of children, and it's exalted in Taurus, conjunct Jupiter. Yeah, this could be a really dynamic energy for you to like put the pieces together to figure out how you want to do the teaching. And wait, let's see, what is your sun? You are, oh yeah, you're the Capricorn sun. Yeah, and this eclipse, the Libra eclipse squared your Saturn in the 5th house. So like it may take you a while. I talk about, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, I post about the lunar phase families. So this eclipse, which is a big start for you, that just happened, 9 months from now, you can put a marker. Where do you want to be in this teaching or what have you? And so that will be 9 months from now will be when the Cancer, there'll be a 1st quarter moon where the sun is about 21 Cancer and the moon is back at that 21 Libra. So where do you want to be at that point? And 21 Libra is in your 11th house of groups. So what do you want to share with these parental groups at that time? So I think, I think
community, and a community is where I'm leaning, like building some sort of community that uses astrology as the tool to, to support.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. Yeah, and you've got your moon conjunct Mercury in Aquarius. Like, yeah, this is helping a community about parenting. I love it. Where's your Venus? Venus in Pisces, in a compassionate way to help, sort through and understand the deeper things. Like with what you said, you have this double Gemini, but has the Pisces energy. So there's, really, and the thing that jumps out at me is when you have a child with all that mutable energy, it's so important to be a little protective about who they associate with, because they can be so, more easily led astray.
Her Saturn opposition was really challenging. Or her Saturn opposition was quite challenging, and it was, an eye-opening experience for both of us.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's something about how you're, and you're like that Cancer, you're taking responsibility to help people with the opposition of, you're the Capricorn with the opposition of Cancer to help people. Yeah, I love that.
I didn't even realize that. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I pulled, the Magician for you. So you have all the tools. It's just a matter of you getting them together and like taking the time to let it come together and creating the community and what have you that you're going to be creating. And I don't know, something came to me, maybe Pisces season or something is like you'll have more clarity.
Good. Okay. Thank you so much. I know it's there, and so it's so nice to have someone reflect it back.
Yes. My pleasure. Okay.
What deck are you using, Celeste?
I'm using the Light Seers deck. Yeah. Okay, let me just do a couple more and then we're going to wrap up because I do have an event to go to. But if anyone wants to join the class, like we'll be talking about, charts and all of that in the class. It's very interactive. Okay. Is number 11 here?
Let's see. Jean Codiani. Jean Codianni. Jean, are you here?
Maybe not.
Nope. Okay.
And okay, one last one. Number 16.
16. Elkina Cabrera. Elkina.
Hello, how you
Hi.
doing?
Good. Hi, Elkina.
I might have pronounced that wrong.
How do you say your name?
Alkenia.
Elkina. Pretty. Okay.
And I have
Oh.
January 7th, 1984 at 11:03 p.m. and I did not get a place.
Lawrence, Mass.
Okay. Another Libra rising. Yeah, that makes such sense. Okay.
And I just had a granddaughter, Libra.
Oh, you just had a granddaughter with.
Yeah, she was born October 16th.
Wow. So she was born right before the eclipse, right? Because
Yeah.
no, right after it.
I was on your live.
So she's wonderful. Wow. Congratulations. So this is going to be your heart, because you both have this Libra energy. Do you feel that already as soon as you looked at her?
Yes, I saw my daughter give birth and everything. It was beautiful.
Oh, wow. Well, congratulations. So yeah, this is definitely a new start for you. Is this your first grandchild?
Yes.
I wonder if you found out about your daughter being pregnant around May, or you may have known before that. Yeah. I just wonder, because that lunar eclipse aspecting your Saturn, that happened around May 15th in the
Do you
house of
remember
children. Yeah, just curious.
when you told me? It was in February.
Oh, so before that. Okay. So I wonder, so this lunar eclipse that's coming up, I wonder if anything around your daughter or her having a child was seeded around April 30th of 2022. And she told you around that first quarter moon of when the sun was in Aquarius and the moon in Taurus. Around then is when you found out you were having a grandchild. And now, a couple weeks before the lunar eclipse related to that moon phase family, you have a grandchild. So I don't know. That's just jumping up to me with what's going on. So yeah, okay. So you're Capricorn sun, Pisces moon, and Libra rising. Yeah. So this is just a really important time as you become a grandmother, I guess. The burning off some old stories. Opening yourself up to more love and
Yeah, I don't understand the chart at all.
You don't? Okay, so your sun is in Capricorn. So did you have to take on a lot of responsibility as a child?
Yes.
You have your sun in your fourth house of home and family, and in Capricorn suggests responsibility.
Yeah, I had to grow up pretty quick.
And you can think about with this energy, a lot of times Capricorns can start to get younger as they get older. So can you embrace more joy and stuff like that as you age? Yeah. And your moon in Pisces, do you do anything in service? Are you
caregiving?
Yes. Is that your job?
Well, that's what I've been doing for years, but right now I'm not working. I lost my job in April. But I've always done. Now I feel like I might go back to it.
Yeah, so you have Cancer on your midheaven, suggesting you're someone who caretakes, as well as the moon and Pisces in the sixth house. So the sixth house is the house of service. I see a lot of people with, like I could even see you being a midwife or something like that. I don't know.
Right. I was very good at helping my daughter through her birth, and I was like, wow, I'm really good at this.
Yeah.
She felt at ease. You know, I put her in, well, she went into the bath. I would run the water over her head, comb her hair, and she loved it. And also, while she was giving birth, giving her the massages on her legs, and it felt like so natural.
Yeah, you
I would
have.
like, I would like to further my education. So
Yeah, I think doing some schooling in order to yeah, get more. Yeah, I just think midwife, doula, like you have the ability to be really helpful for people going through something big like that. Like the Pisces moon, you've got the sensitivity, Libra rising, you can say things to people, like you can just be there with them with the Pisces moon.
yes.
To just energetically, but you also can have like the words with Libra, the air sign, to help them, just kind of help them calm down or, and I don't know, all this fire energy, you have a lot of Sagittarius energy. To me,
Yeah.
that fire is, you have the ability to create some healthy boundaries between yourself and that energy if you need to. But also like react in a crisis, like be able to like think on your feet through difficult things. You have Saturn and Scorpio, I think. Yeah, this is just what I'm getting. Yeah. Well, you got the chart of a caretaker. I pulled Ace of Cups, but upside down. So to me, self-care right now is really important for you to take care of yourself and your energy. With the South Node going through your first house, that can be a time where we're physically depleted. How old are you?
I'm tired. I am so tired. I've been saying that for a while. I'm 39.
Yeah, okay, 39.
Since I was 14.
39 is a fourth house year. Think about your foundations. Like, how can you work on maybe eating better? Like with that Pisces moon, sometimes people would have that, like look to food or comforting things to as a way for self-care, but it's not really all that healthy. So maybe think about really bring in that Virgo to focus on, like being more careful about what you eat, your sleep hygiene, getting enough rest. You're a Libra, you're constant Libra rising, you're constantly focused on others and having that Sun in Capricorn, feeling responsible for everyone. Can you take some time to let go of some of that stuff and take some caretaking for yourself, is what I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like I need that, yeah.
Well, wonderful. Yeah, great. Well, thank you. Okay, let me answer some of any of these questions still in here. The importance of the vertex in the chart, especially during transits, Allison's asking. So the vertex is you've encountered. So when planets come up in transit on your vertex, you may encounter the nature of the planet. So the sun or people in your life, like it's also considered a soulmate point. So if someone comes in on your vertex, they may be a soulmate here to teach you something or help you learn something. But like Mars on your vertex, you may encounter like courage or conflict or drive. Venus, connection, a gift, resources, money, love. You can think about it like that. The part of fortune speaks to both your physical body and like your fate and your fortune. Yeah, I don't work with it as much. Yeah, but those are 2 points. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions before we go? Oh, thank you, Karen. Yeah, I know people need to run. It's Sunday. Yes, yes. Okay. Well, welcome everyone. Oh, I see some people have joined the class. I look forward to, wait, let me get back to the Zoom. Yeah, I look forward to meeting everyone who joins the class. It's open for enrollment. Class starts next Sunday, and you can have it's yours to keep all the material. So reach out to me, just email me if you have any questions. Thank you so much for coming. I will send out an email with the recording as well as answer any questions in the chat that didn't come up. I'll put the link to this deck in there and any other things I'm thinking about. So thank you for coming. It was such a pleasure. And take good care of yourself, especially through this chaotic eclipse season.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Ashley, for, as always, for helping out with the chat.
Thanks, Celeste. See you later.